Hello everyone, Daniel here from the Next Issue Podcast. On today's video, we'll be doing a review for Skeleton Crew episode number 4. I can't say I remember, no ATTIN. That's going to be very important for this episode. Uh, Before I get fully into what just happened, this show continues to just make me worry and care so much about the little characters, right? Obviously, because they are children, that's pretty easy to do, but they keep me engaged, and every time in my head, I'm just like, how in the world are we gonna get out of trouble? And of course, because it is very kid friendly, like they're gonna get out of trouble, and it's gonna be fun. But it's always that little thing of like in the back of your head, kind of worrying about these characters. I think Neil, for me, is just a standout character. The way that he's been written and the performance from I this must be like kind of half animatronic. I don't know. I don't know what the. I would love to see some behind the scenes of how Neil kind of comes to life. Jude Law continues to be just very charming, and the rest of the kids, like, they're pretty good at what they're doing. Like, they look like they're having fun because, like, I'm talking about the characters. Even though they are stranded and lost from home, like they are still kids, and they treat the world as it is. Um, and sometimes the answers that they have, or the questions that they have about things and why things happen in the world, are very interesting, and they just kind of make you think. So yeah, this show is just, I think it's very smartly written, and I hope that it continues to find an audience and people continue to try this. So let's get into episode 4. This is a pretty straightforward episode. After the last episode, we received the coordinates from Kim, and the crew manages to find the planet. They land on a planet, but although the kids think it is at Eden, we are not really sure, and it's pretty much confirmed as soon as we land that this is not the same planet. But they notice all the similarities between their planet, like same type of buildings, same type of structure. But in this planet, we've seen that it's almost as if that same civilization has been gone for hundreds of years, and now the planet's kind of taken back over. People are fighting. There's conflict, and when I say conflict, it's like small conflict overall, but it's still, conflict. So Smee does confirm that this is a different planet. So the kids go out to see what's going on. I I do think it's funny that they don't fully take advantage of having an adult with them. But I don't think it's because they don't fully trust him, and they probably are correct with not fully trusting him. We see some other kids, the Troik, part of the Troik. There's two in this planet. There seem to be two factions, at least, that we see in this little place: the Troik, who find the little kids, and the Hatan, who find Smee and Jod, at the ship, right? So we learn a little bit about the world. We learn a little bit about their conflict. That's really not what the episode is about. Although there's a really nice moment where one of the kids, from the Troik, Hena, who is kind of in line to be the next leader, um, she starts to kind of walk around with Neil, and they just have a really nice moment. Neil gives some food to some hungry children because that's just the kind of individual that Neil is. And Hannah sees that all these things that project strength, maybe in her normal clan, in her normal world, uh, Neil doesn't have any of those things, right? They talk about him as weaknesses, but eventually they find out that being kind doesn't necessarily have to be a weakness. Being nice to somebody doesn't necessarily have to be and this is all just kind of going back to the themes of, like, a lot of these kids shows. Like, they're trying to just give a little friendly lesson while still having just some really interesting adventures with kids. So yeah, I love the little way that they kind of wrote their relationship. We knew that something was going to happen. They're going to go into this battle. All the kids, there's a little, training montage kind of little thing, where they kind of prove their worth. But it is, to me, it just felt like Detroit, who believe that, treating children as adults is the responsible thing to do. To me, it just more feels like they send them out into battle first, So I don't know. That felt like the kind of the whole crux of it. But in the end, Jot comes true. Earlier on, he stole some credit. He stole the credits from Wim, and he used that to buy back the little Ilpies creatures. They're like little. I don't know. They look like dinosaurs, really. I'm sure you've seen them in the Star Wars thing, and kind of resolve the conflict for now. And which leads them, the Troik tells them like, here's where the fallen sanctum is. Here's where you might find some more information about your actual planet. It turns out that this fallen sanctum is the supervisory tower, what there would be the equivalent in their world. So I think Kim was correct. These nine worlds are connected. These nine worlds from the old, and I think here, before I get to what happened at the end, here's my theory on what's going on. These nine planets were hidden to run social experiments. Maybe they're different experiments, maybe they're the same, and probably ATTIN is the only one, or and maybe not the only one, but is one of the ones that continues to thrive, while this one has fallen, and a few others have fallen. Maybe that's because, whatever the case may be, maybe some of the other places got found out, society evolved in a different way. I think, I don't know if we'll ever get the answer to that, but I think that because all the droids, all the planets is run by droids, specifically at Atten. I think we're gonna find out that that's the case. That there's kind of some kind of hidden experiment, and that's why nobody's able to leave. There's no contact with people outside. So we do see that Smee, or 33, whatever you want to call him, he has been there before, and he was given an order by the previous captain to not only forget at Atten, but also to kill anyone that asks about that, because that's where the treasure is. So I think Jod is right. There's definitely some kind of treasure, or there was some kind of treasure there, or maybe that's where the previous captain ended up having to hide the treasure. Whatever the case may be, Smee is about to go like attack the children. Neil saves everyone by distracting him and allowing Jod to turn off the robot. So yeah, I think next episode they'll probably hack the information out of Smee's memory or something like that. Eventually get back home, and hopefully we can explore what the reason is for the planets being the same. But I think that's kind of my hunch for now. So, I mean, this is once again a kid show, so I don't think a theory like that is too far fetched, because they're giving you a lot of the information. So yeah, great episode though. I really, really loved this episode. Neil is just my favorite character. I'm sure he's supposed to be the favorite character, anyways. Wim and Fern have a nice moment. KB has their own moment, but yeah, I just really think that Neil just kind of the standout of the show. Again, once again, Jude Law doing a fantastic job as well. So if you have seen this latest episode of Skeleton Crew, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. As always, thank you for watching, everyone. Remember to share, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you know when we go live. That is most Saturdays, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And stay tuned. We have more comic reviews, trailer reactions, TV recaps, all that fun stuff here in the channel. Thanks for watching, everyone. Bye bye.